and welcome to this week's 2-minute Parsha, Parshas Vayeitzei. So Yaakov leaves Beersheba and he flees from his brother Esau because of the anger that he stole the blessings. On his way, Yaakov sleeps in Luz. He has a dream of the angels going up and down the ladder, and Hashem promises him that he'll guard him. Then Yaakov wakes up and he takes a stone that was around his head and he anoints it, pours oil over it, he renames the place Bezel, and he makes a promise, a shvuah, a vow, that if Hashem guards him and brings him back to this place, then he will designate this place a house of Hashem, and that he will give a tenth of everything that he earns to Hashem. He continues on his journey and he rides outside Choron. He sees Rachel, the daughter of Lavan, coming along. So he single-handedly rolls the stone away so that he can feed her herd. Lavan hears about Yaakov's arrival and he runs towards him. He greets him, he invites him in to stay by them. Yaakov ends up staying there for 7 years, and he works for Lavan in return for the younger daughter Rachel. But Lavan cheats him and he ends up marrying Leah. So Yaakov works a further 7 years, this time for Rachel. The Torah tells us that Leah gave birth to Reuven, to Shimon, to Levi, and to Yehuda. And Rachel's upset about this, that she doesn't have any children, so she gives Yaakov her maidservant Bilhah, and Yaakov has Dan and Naphtali with her. Then Leah sees that she is no longer giving birth, so she gives Yaakov her maidservant Zilpah, and Yaakov has Gad and Asher. After this, the Torah tells the story of the Judaim with Reuven, how Leah and Rachel exchanged it for sleeping with Yaakov that night, and Leah ended up sleeping with Yaakov, so she became pregnant and bore Yisachar and Zebulun, and then Dinah. Eventually, Rachel does become pregnant and she gives birth to Yosef. At this point, Yaakov asks permission from Lavan to leave and to return to his homeland, but they just end up agreeing on a further employment contract. The agreement went sour when Lavan cheats Yaakov, and he takes the herds that really rightfully belong to Yaakov. So Yaakov decides he has to run away. Yaakov gains permission from his wife to run away after he relates to them what he had been told in a dream by an angel, by a malach. So they flee, but not before Rivka takes her father's idols. It takes 3 days for Lavan to realize that they have gone, so he chases them. And on his way, Hashem appears to Lavan and he tells him, do not speak too harshly to Yaakov. When he finally catches up with Yaakov, he confronts him, why did you run away so fast without telling me? Why did you steal my idols? And Yaakov says, check my stuff. No idols stolen. I didn't take anything. So Lavan checks the whole camp and he can't find the idols because Rachel, his daughter, was sitting on them and she did not get up when he came. Lavan stays the night, first Lavan and Yaakov, they sign an agreement that at this point that they're at now, neither of them will cross to harm each other, and they put a rock on that point to mark it. Then Lavan stays the night, and they have a feast. Yaakov brings offerings to Hashem, and the next morning, Lavan, before he leaves, he says his goodbyes, and he says to everyone. Yaakov carries on towards Eretz Yisrael. He is met by Malachim, and Yaakov calls that place Machanaim. In summary, in this week's parsha, we had Yaakov's dreams, but Yaakov marries Rachel and Leah. They have 11 sons and 1 daughter. Rachel and Leah, the story with the Dudaim, and Lavan repeatedly cheats Yaakov. Yaakov then flees. Rachel steals her father's idols, and finally, Yaakov and Lavan come to an agreement. Have a good Shabbos. See you next week.